Welcome to my channel. We upload 3 to 5 times a week. Don't miss out on our stories. Hit that subscribe button now and get the latest video when we upload. Are you ready for a chilling horror story? Imagine a mother passing away during childbirth, leaving behind her newborn child. In this spine-tingling tale, we will follow the story of Jack and his haunted past, filled with terror and malevolent spirits. Are you brave enough to join us on this journey? Watch as we uncover the secrets of a mother's love and the horrors that lurk in the shadows. Okay, let's begin. It was a night of terror and despair as Sarah went into labor. The hospital room was dimly lit, and the only sound was the steady beeping of the machines monitoring her vitals. Her husband, Thomas, held her hand tightly, trying to ease her pain. But as the hours passed, Sarah's screams grew louder, and the doctors knew something was wrong. As they rushed her into the operating room, Thomas was left alone, waiting for news. But the minutes turned into hours, and no one came to update him on Sarah's condition. Fear and dread began to fill him, and he knew in his heart that something had gone terribly wrong. Finally, a doctor appeared, his face pale and haunted. He spoke in hushed tones, telling Thomas that Sarah had passed away during childbirth. But before Thomas could process the news, the doctor's face contorted in horror as he pointed to the corner of the room. There, hovering in the shadows, was the ghostly figure of Sarah. Her eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, and her voice echoed through the room, promising to protect her newborn child from harm. Thomas was horrified, but he knew that he had to take care of his son. As the years passed, he watched as the boy, named Jack, grew up. But no matter where they went, Sarah's ghost was always there, hovering in the shadows, watching over her child. At first, Thomas found comfort in Sarah's ghostly presence, believing that she was protecting their son. But as time went on, he began to notice strange things happening. Objects would move on their own, doors would slam shut, and a chill would fill the air whenever Sarah was near. As Jack grew older, he became aware of his mother's ghostly presence. At first, he found it comforting, believing that his mother was still with him. But as he began to sense the darkness and malevolence emanating from her, he began to fear her. One night, as Jack was trying to sleep, he heard a soft whispering in his ear. He turned to see Sarah's ghostly figure hovering over him, her eyes glowing with an unholy light. He tried to scream, but his voice was choked off as Sarah's ghostly hands closed around his throat. In that moment, Jack realized that his mother's spirit was not there to protect him, but to control him. She wanted him all to herself, to keep him safe in her realm of darkness and terror. But Jack refused to be controlled by his mother's ghost. With a strength he didn't know he had, he fought against her, pushing her away with all his might. And as he did, he felt a surge of power, as if he was breaking free from her grasp. With a final scream, Sarah's ghostly form dissipated into the shadows, leaving behind only the cold chill of death. And as Jack lay there, gasping for breath, he realized that he was finally free. But the nightmare wasn't over yet. As Jack began to rebuild his life, he began to notice strange things happening around him. Objects would move on their own, and he would catch glimpses of shadows moving in the corners of his vision. One night, as he was walking home from work, he heard a soft whispering in his ear. He turned to see Sarah's ghostly figure hovering behind him, her eyes glowing with an unholy light. But this time, there was something different about her, a sense of urgency, a feeling of desperation. And then, Jack heard it, a baby crying. He turned to see a stroller abandoned on the side of the road. Inside was a newborn baby, crying in terror. As Jack reached down to pick up the baby, Sarah's ghostly figure began to fade away. But before she disappeared completely, she whispered one last message to her son. "Protect him," she said, her voice barely audible. "Protect him, as I protected you." And with those words, Sarah's ghostly form vanished into the night, leaving Jack alone with the crying baby. He knew that he had to protect this child, just as his mother had protected him. But as he looked into the baby's eyes, he saw something familiar, something haunting. The baby's eyes glowed with the same otherworldly light that Sarah's had, and Jack realized with a jolt of horror that this was not just any baby. It was his own child, conceived in a moment of weakness with a woman he barely knew. As Jack took the baby into his arms, he knew that his life would never be the same again. He was now a father, and he had to protect this child at all costs. But as he looked down at the baby's innocent face, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. For Sarah's ghostly figure still haunted him, her voice echoing through his mind. And as he walked home with the crying baby, he knew that the nightmare was far from over. Thank you for joining us on this haunting journey. We hope you enjoyed this spine-tingling tale of a mother's love and protection, even beyond the grave. Jack's story is a reminder that sometimes the ones we love never truly leave us, and that their presence can both comfort and terrify us. But in the end, it is up to us to face our fears and overcome the horrors that lie in wait. We hope this story will stay with you long after the video ends, and that you will continue to seek out the mysteries and darkness that lie hidden in the world around us. Thank you for watching and listening, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more terrifying tales.